Alright. Oh, we're getting a count.
Oh yeah.
There's only so much battery life on here, so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Brad's really serious.
So it is unplugged. Alright,
Yeah.
cool. That's okay. We got like no news at all. It'll be 20 minutes. Go.
I almost jumped to one there.
He did. He can't even count down on his fingers.
Can't count.
He has one job. Can't do it. Welcome to Real Nerds. I'm Ryan. To my left is
Brad.
To my right,
James.
I think this is 4 episodes in a row. Brad's been here. 3.
2.
No.
Is it 2 episodes in a row? You are.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
you
Because he
didn't
wasn't
do
here for
Drive.
Drive.
Yeah, just Drive.
You almost gave him an award.
I almost
for
gave
something
him an award.
He did not deserve.
He did
It's
not
that
deserve.
Goddamn bowling ball again.
But this episode of Real Nerds is recorded before a live studio audience.
Woo! Show us your tit.
And they're feisty.
Wait. I just showed them my tits.
And the girls
Put it away.
are disappointed, evidently. Sweet. We saw 50-50 this week. Did we like it? There's a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
That's the best joke of the night. Start some real news. I'm starting real news this week. Did you guys read that there's going to be a new Mortal Kombat movie?
Hold on
I
a
did
second.
see
Let
that.
me.
Directed by the...
I gotta cross
Yeah.
that off of my news list here. Okay.
I was expecting
I
our
did read
studio audience to yell "finish him," but they did not.
Finish him.
Yeah.
That was the one man that we have in our audience.
But actually, the story behind it's really cool. Is the Mortal Kombat franchise? I don't know if you saw the first Mortal Kombat movie is not that bad. Its biggest fault is it's PG-13. The second one is god awful.
I think I saw 20 minutes of one on TV, and I don't know which one.
Yeah, it's all right. You won't hurt my feelings if you say they're bad movies.
I don't remember if they're bad movies. I saw 20 minutes of
but
one.
the second
I
one-
think somebody landed on a spike and got like dusted like Buffy. Did that happen in one of the movies?
I don't
Maybe
remember.
it was Highlander. Maybe it was Highlander: The Quickening.
Maybe.
Anyway,
But they effectively killed the franchise with Mortal Kombat Annihilation because they attempted to bring in all these elements from Mortal Kombat 3 and mix it with Mortal Kombat 2 and mix in their own story, so it was a convoluted mess.
did the early movies actually do well?
The first one did really well.
Oh, okay.
A Paul W.S. Anderson original. I think that's actually his first
No way.
a movie, yeah.
So he really is like a hack.
He
Like he
is.
really, at some
honestly.
level, had talent, and then now makes garbage to make money.
Yep.
Wow. I've always said that I really wish that David Lynch would start making money with his movies, because then I could call him a hack.
But anyways, so they killed the franchise, and this guy, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. Do you know how to pronounce it? It's Ken
Levine?
Tecarone or something.
Oh no, I don't know.
Takerone, something like that. But he's actually a video music.
Oh, the guy who did the web videos, right?
Yeah.
He's the guy who did the web series about Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, exactly. He was such a fan of Mortal Kombat, and he thought he could make a movie of Mortal Kombat that was rated R and was hardcore, and he released a trailer called Mortal Kombat Rebirth, which was only supposed to go to... It's actually a really funny story. He said how stupid he is with computers. He made this film for like $50,000 that he was going to show to New Line and Warner Brothers, saying, hey, I can make a cool Mortal Kombat movie. So what he did is he didn't know how to transfer a file that was 2 gigs like across the internet. So he uploaded it on YouTube and set it to private so only certain people could see it, but he didn't know how to do that. So by doing that, he effectively released it himself. But by doing that, it actually got everybody really excited to see what he could do, and they gave him the 9 little mini webisodes, which he kind of took in a different way. And some of them are really good, some of them are okay.
I watched the first few; they were interesting.
Like the Raiden one's really cool. The Raiden, he comes to Earth and he's put in a mental institution, and they think he's crazy until he goes all Raiden. And I always thought they could actually make a cool Mortal Kombat movie just being the Scorpion and Sub-Zero story, where Sub-Zero is an assassin, and he goes and he kills Scorpion's whole family and clan, and then Scorpion's resurrected as a revenge. I thought it would make an interesting story.
Let me ask you a question: is it possible? Because I know very little about Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat. I'm slurring. Is it possible to make a Mortal Kombat movie? Is it possible to make a Mortal Kombat movie without it being at some level
Say it, asshole.
kind of silly? Oh, fuck me.
Yeah,
does it
I-
have to be a little tongue in cheek, a little aware of what it is?
I think it
Or,
does. I
or
mean-
can you make this is a movie where some badass dudes fight and some of them have magical powers?
I mean, there's a fine line because even the guys who make the game know it. I mean, some of the fatalities are goofy. I mean, and even in the new one where it's more serious, there's a fatality where Ermac shrinks you to a little size and he squishes you like a bug. So I mean, they're self-aware of the violence in it, and they know. So I think you have to balance it. But I think you could make a serious movie that was Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and even the little webisode was cool because they only spoke Japanese in the webisode. So
In that one, yeah.
yeah, so they had subtitles. But his wife is actually the lady who co-wrote Dr. Horrible with Joss Whedon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or maybe it's his sister. It's one of the two. Because
Well, you better get that sorted out.
so yeah, that was my cool news for the week. I think that's kind of interesting. They're going to start filming it in January, he said.
Yeah.
So I guess
That's cool.
they're pretty much. He said they're done with the script and now they're just really fine tuning it.
Ryan, did you know, or Brad, did you know that Michael J. White is in those little shorts?
Yeah, he plays Jax, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Anyway,
He's a friend of the director. Is why he did it.
it's the kind of thing that usually I would skip over and be like, "Oh, that sounds stupid. I'll see that." But we have to talk about it because Ryan's here. Do you got anything else, Ryan?
They cast Leon Kennedy in Resident Evil.
Who's Leon Kennedy?
Leon Kennedy is in the second Resident Evil game, and he's
Oh, he's
Like,
a character.
yeah.
He's not an actor.
and he's in Resident Evil 4. He's the main protagonist in Resident Evil 4 too,
Oh, okay.
and he's like one of the series heroes. Him and Chris Redfield are kind of the series heroes.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I've never heard of the guy who's played him, but
Why would you?
But
It's
Mia
a- it's a-
Jovovich keeps on texting and tweeting pictures and breaking news because maybe Paul W.S. Anderson is too busy putting the final touches on the Three Musketeers.
I think that every time that you say the name Mia Jovovich, I'm going to sigh as horribly as I just did, and it'll be the worst thing that anyone would ever
It's
listen to.
pronounced Horowitz.
Was that a joke, or are you serious? Is it really pronounced Horowitz?
No, it's not.
Ah, that didn't get picked up.
Jojovic.
Guess what? 3D's dead.
And,
Almost. It's gonna be dead. It can't
but
survive.
the
this.
Lion King just did really well.
It did, didn't it?
Notes.
But here's the thing, and this is going to affect, because you have said, well, before Transformers, you said the next 3D movie I will see will probably be Spider-Man 3. Well, between now and not Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man
Amazing
4-ish, yeah. Between now and then, Sony is going to stop paying for 3D glasses. But up until now, what's been happening is, when you go to the theater, you pay for your 3D movie, they give you 3D glasses, and you go in. Well, those 3D glasses weren't bought by the theater you're at. They were paid for by the studio that's putting out the 3D movie. And that was a big point of contention before because theaters didn't want to pay that price. And now Sony is not going to pay that. And if Sony doesn't do it, that might mean that other studios are not going to pay for it anymore. And if other studios don't pay for it, theaters are not going to be happy about it. They're going to jack up prices even more, which means that now, going to see a 3D movie is probably going to be $5-6 more.
That means holograms. Instead of 3D.
Holograms would be awesome. Actually, I hate to admit this. I have had a horrible fear of holograms since I was like 4 years old. And the reason is because I've always...
Red Dwarf.
No, not because of Red Dwarf. Because I've always thought, like, all of these movies I love, when everybody has holographic TVs and shit, I'm not going to be able to watch them. And they're going to, like, remake The Lord of the Rings in hologram. Because they're going to have to refilm it. Because you can't just convert that shit. I don't know, because I don't know how holograms work, because they're imaginary.
You just move your head across the screen like this.
You're attacking my feet. Anyway, what do you guys think?
I'm not surprised. I mean, it's already super expensive. I think now to see a 3D movie, $14.50.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I think
Wait.
it's 16 in some Eastern markets.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's
So-
23 in California.
Well, it's always high in California. Because
It's
everybody
just-
there gets to see them for free. Nobody actually pays to go see a movie in California.
But it's not that shocking because people stop paying for it anyways. Even Michael Bay, who said, "Oh, Transformers 3D, saved the 3D industry." Well, yeah, that one movie, but then every movie is subsequently released after that 2D
Yeah.
was the clear winner in it
Yeah.
because it doesn't add anything to it. I mean, what's the point of even going to
Doing the
see
show.
a 3D movie?
I don't have time for this.
You know, Stuart, go lay down.
Who the hell
Slobbered
is
all over the
Who
computer.
the hell is Brad talking to? Yeah, no, I mean, actually, there's a part of me that is excited about it because it means that hopefully people are going to stop paying for them entirely, and then the whole thing is going to die. I want it to go away. I'm tired of having to, when I go to a movie, decide whether or not. Well, obviously, I don't actually have to decide whether or not I'm going to see it in 3D. I'm not going to see it in 3D. But I'm tired of knowing that good theaters are taken up by 3D versions of movies.
I was actually reading an article on the Digital Bits, and they said that 3D they're having to lump them together package-wise because people aren't buying the 3D TVs, and the movie studios were really getting behind 3D TVs, and even ESPN has a 3D network they're probably going to shut down because it costs way too much money because the camera they have has 2 lenses, and and now there's one last ditch effort that exclusive to Best Buy, the Harry Potter part 7.1 is going to be released exclusively in 3D at Best Buy, and you have to buy it with a bundle of a 3D TV.
Wow.
That's stupid. Who wants it in the first place?
They're
mean-
trying because people are like, I don't want to pay for a 3D TV.
Oh,
Yeah, and it means that it also means that you're screwing over the people who did invest in your TV.
Yeah.
The people who were like, "Hey, 3D TV is cool. I'm gonna buy this thing. I'm gonna spend way too much money way too early on unproven technology," and then you're gonna punish those people by saying like, "Oh, well, you can't watch this movie." Panasonic did the same thing where you couldn't buy Avatar for a while anywhere unless you got it with a Panasonic TV, or only people who bought Panasonic TVs could buy Avatar, something crazy like that.
And it's not surprising too because 3D always goes through fads. Even Nintendo found that out. I mean, Virtual Boy was a 3D thing, and I mean, Brad's the only person I know who even owns one.
Yeah.
And it hurts your eyes, and then
early converters.
Shut up, guys. It's awesome.
and so
Give it a chance.
I mean, even the 3DS is dropped in price by $70 since it's
Yeah.
launched.
And that's
5 months ago.
That's actually a good piece of machinery.
Oh, no, it's cool.
It's
Why can't
a
they make
good
a TV like
handheld,
that?
and if you because it's forced perspective. Like you have to be holding the screen at a certain place to actually get the right effect of the 3D. So obviously, it wouldn't work with more than one person. It wouldn't work if you were sitting on a couch at a slight angle from the TV like that. I mean, they are doing stuff that's like that because they're desperately trying to find ways to make 3D work on TVs because active glasses aren't what people want. Nobody wants to pay $150 for glasses. Even though I keep hearing from people like, "Oh, it's amazing. It's even better than what you see on the big screen because there the glasses are talking to the TV and they know where you are and you're getting a better experience of 3D, but nobody wants to pay for it."
Yeah, you're right. I think it's going to go away.
Yeah, which is not really a surprise because
No.
it was a big
okay.
deal.
It
It's
might
actually
come back better. Who knows?
I wasn't going to talk about this before, but the Alamo Drafthouse is picking up. I don't remember it perfectly, but anyway, it's a movie from the '80s that was a sort of cult favorite 3D movie that they've picked up and converted to Real D, and then they're going to show in their theaters. And it's almost perfect timing because it's like, oh yeah, remember the last time this fad came around? Well, we're going to end it with this movie that you don't remember.
Friday the 13th.
Oh, Jaws 3D is... Oh, that movie is pathetic.
I'd see Friday the 13th 3D and 3D on the big screen. I think that'd be fun. Because I just want to see
mean-
that eyeball pop out and come at me in 3D.
There's a part of me that will miss, your piranhas, but I'll miss them for 30 years, and this will come back, and, James Cameron will, he'll be 105 years old, and he'll be like, 3D is coming back! I'm
found a way
serious
to
this
put
time."
Titanic in your brain.
Well,
Yeah,
they're
there's
gonna,
something I don't want to see in 3D.
Avatar's coming to the Animal Kingdom at Walt Disney World.
Oh, yeah, I saw that it's going to Disney.
They're going to put a
Disney World.
specific ride from the world of Pandora there, which would probably be really cool because Disney makes really cool things.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how much of it is footage stuff. I'm always disappointed when you find out that there's a new ride at Disney World and it's all, or it's mostly, camera stuff, screens, because I want them to do better than that.
Have you... Their coolest new ride they have there is the Expedition Everest, which is a roller coaster. that goes, and then the track ends, and you go backwards.
Oh,
It's
weird.
pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah. I like it when they build stuff.
Yeah.
Nemo.
What's Nemo?
Nemo.
Is Nemo one of those 3D, 4D things?
Yeah, it is, but they project the images of the fish onto an aquarium. It is
Oh, so
awesome.
you're looking at real fish, and then inside you're like,
then it's like
hey,
Nemo
it's a.
hanging out
I mean, that is really cool.
And
Yeah,
everybody's
I don't want to
looking
take
for
away.
Nemo in it.
I don't want to take away
Did you
because,
find him?
of course,
He did, because he's like ahead of him, and he's like over here, and then he goes behind Coral, and then all the other fish are like, "Where's Nemo?" It's pretty funny. It's cute.
Oh, good. Good. It sounds like it's terrifying. So it's good to know that it's actually cute. That was a legitimate laugh. Actually, it was just sort of a snort and a giggle. Like, James is trying. I only have one more piece of news, and it has... you probably don't care. Did you guys ever read the Ender's Game books?
No.
I think you were a little too old. They sort of hit the guys... They sort of hit the guys a couple of years older than me.
Ouch.
Really great series. Ender's Game is interesting because
Orson Scott Card.
they're written by Orson Scott Card. And the second book is one called Speaker for the Dead, one of my favorite books. And Ender's Game is actually a book that he wrote specifically to write that second book, which is interesting since Ender's Game is the most popular one, the one that everybody talks about. But the rich sci-fi is in that sequel. But anyway, they've been talking about making this movie for a long time, and there's a specific reason why it's really hard. But this week they cast it. We don't really know.
Sam Worthington.
They don't really know exactly who all is going to be in the movie. But the thing is here, the entire movie, all of the main characters are like between the ages of 7 and 11 years old. It's an entire cast of kids that age, which obviously casting kids in any movie is really hard.
That's just
Especially
Cody
to get-
Smith McPhee.
Well, yeah. I mean, there are every now and then you get a couple good ones, like Cody Smith McPhee.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I had always said back when Beowulf came out, I was really excited. About Beowulf because I thought, dude, if this movie is actually as good as people say it is, where this CG stuff and the face capture stuff is really cool, that's how I want Ender's Game to be made. I want really good adult actors made up to look like they're children, and then make me like a CG movie of these little kids fighting and doing all this like badass space shit. But they're still doing it live action. I'm excited. I want it to be good, but so far there's nobody actually attached to it that I care about. So
Everybody shut up for a minute because I just realized that Laura follows Khloe Kardashian on Twitter.
That's not really news to me.
what is a Khloe Kardashian? Like what? How is she famous?
She's the big Kardashian, married to Lamar.
Oh wait, we're not even talking about
Laura's
the one
saying
that
the
had
big
sex with Ray
Kardashian?
J.
Dude,
She
get your
means
show
the
under
fat
control.
one.
Because here's the thing,
She's tall.
You're
she's
losing him, Ryan.
if I'm not mistaken, she is famous because she's sisters with a woman who had sex with the brother of the main actor from the show Moesha. Right?
Yes.
Like, that is the only reason
You need
anyone
to
knows
add
who
the
the
more
fuck
you
she
know.
is.
So,
Yeah, she married him because she is famous because her sister had sex with somebody no one's heard of.
I don't need your judgment.
Did
Well,
Orson
you're
Scott
getting it.
Card write this story?
No, he would...
hey, Brad,
would
how
have
about you?
more
You have any news for
plants
me
that-
this week?
I do actually have some news this week.
Oh,
I'm
really?
excited about. Yes.
Dude, Brad is like growing up. He's adding things to the
Brad's
podcast.
coming to the podcast.
I know. I
Prepared.
read some articles.
No way.
and went
From
to
a website?
Yeah.
They're not from like Entertainment Weekly, are they? Because they'd be like 3 weeks old.
No. This is from Digital Bits. The Star Trek Next Generation Blu-rays are on their way.
Oh, that's right. I didn't talk about this because I felt like you guys wouldn't want to talk about it. Hey,
No.
hey! Shut up! All right.
Chastising
Yeah.
the audience. It's not good.
Well, I mean, they don't listen anyway.
So anyway, I'm super excited about the Star Trek Next Generation Blu-rays because they're basically shot on beta.
Because you're a nerd!
Don't care. Moving on. Proud of it. And so the quality of the picture isn't as good as film, like traditional 35mm film.
I think you've got it backwards there. The show,
Really?
if I'm not
Do I
mistaken,
need
the
to
show.
flash my video production degree?
Well, hold on. Let me throw this at you. Hold on. Let me throw this at you. If I'm not mistaken, the show was shot on film, and then the composites were done
On beta?
On beta.
Okay,
So
that's probably
so there
true.
is no finished version on film. So like the shots of Picard sitting in a chair are on film, but then to add in the stuff that's behind the screen is all SD. So that's been the problem.
I think they made the DVDs off the betas.
Yes, they did.
So it's
'Cause
now
that's
that
easy.
they're actually going to the source film for the Blu-rays, which is awesome because it's going to look amazing.
What was the tagline though? I was reading the article. Like, what's on the box?
Oh,
Was
it's
it-
the
stupid.
next generation.
No, it's
of
the next level.
generation.
No. It's the pull up digital bits. It's the goofiest. It's like taste the experience.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
taste the experience, right?
Yeah, it's something like that.
I think it's
Straight
Taste
out of
the
a
Next Level,
replicator. And this is this week's moment where we crash the podcast.
So anyway, and
by
I think
looking
while he's
shit
looking it
up.
up, they're also going to redo a bunch
A
of those
taste
special effects.
Of
Yeah,
the
taste.
next generation.
A taste
No,
of an,
no. A taste of TNG in high definition.
a
That's what it
taste of
says.
TNG.
A
and
taste of.
Yeah.
Like it's a
Wh-
food.
what- That's bizarre.
No, the reason it's called a taste of is because the releasing in May
Is a
or
sample,
March
right.
is actually only 3/4 episodes. It's 3 episodes, but one of them is the pilot episodes. That's 2 hours. And
Encounter
honestly,
at Farpoint.
yeah, the Encounter at Farpoint.
Why are they?
They are not the best episodes.
Are they doing that so people will buy it and they
They're
see
probably
the,
testing the market
It's
to see if
testing the
people are
market.
willing
Yeah.
to just rebuy.
Because I will say,
They're also
because-
kind of double dipping. You know,
Yeah.
I'm sure that it's also a thing of like, hey, it's taking because it's going to take them a long time and a lot of money to do this. They're probably putting it out there to make sure that the real fans will just go ahead and buy it just to see what it looks like, and then anyway.
But I always thought, I'm not a Star Trek fan at all, but the packaging was always really cool for their box sets.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is. It is. They're good DVDs.
They had a nice fold out.
You should watch Darmok. It's on Netflix. Anyway, it's been really great, and that's what I've been watching all week. When we'll get to what we've been watching, and my
Okay.
part is really short because I've only been watching Next Generation.
All right. Well, I'm done with my news, so why don't we
All right,
jump into that?
Cool. What have you been watching, James?
I've been watching a lot of the Next Generation, which is a show. It's like the second Star Trek show. Other than that, last week Pan Am aired finally, which is the show with Christina Ricci, where they really want to be Mad Men, and it's not good. I'm stealing this joke from Alex Albrecht of the Totally Rad Show but I agree with it. I feel like while you're watching the show, you can see the guy who was pitching the show and saying like, "Oh, it's gonna be all this drama and about these people who are on planes," and I can see the executive getting bored, and then the guy pitching going, and then I don't know, one of them's a spy, and she's got to do spy shit probably every week,
Wait, it's a
and-
spy show?
right? It's the same moment
Did
that I
not pitch
had.
it that way on TV.
I know it's the same moment that I had with the Playboy Club, where 10 minutes in they're dumping a body in the river, and I'm thinking, this is not the show you should be making. And Pan Am does the same thing, where you're learning these weird backstories where these people have convoluted stories, and it's not. Part of what's good about Mad Men is it's simple people living weird, complex lives, and you're focusing on little moments in their lives. This is like a TV version of that. It's not good. Of course. I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm...
Mad Men is on TV.
Oh. No, but, it's a network.
Not right now.
Yeah. Honestly, AMC is not
I'll
like
shout
normal
back
TV.
at the audience.
I yelled at them. Now they're all gone. Everybody left. Even the dude.
Yeah, you guys. Watched them.
But the only other thing that I watched this week was Terra Nova, which is the new
that
show.
good?
What?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
He's
Is it
getting
good?
to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get. Anyway,
From now on, just say the show you're watching and then say
so-
good or bad, and we'll move on.
Terra Nova, good. Actually, I can't answer that question. I don't really know yet.
Yeah.
It's this new show that Steven Spielberg produced. It's been in production for a while. The main guy is the guy who was on the U.S. remake of Life on Mars, which got canceled. There's nobody else of note in it except for the guy who plays the general in Avatar. And he
Stephen
kind
Lang.
of, well, it's actually a slightly better character. It's a less cliche, better dialogue character with less stupid scars on the side of his head. But he does have a scene where he welcomes people to a foreign planet, and that's actually the thing you remember most. The thing is, this could be a good show if it weren't for the fact in the pilot episode the like son is really angsty and mad at his dad in super cliche ways that aren't very interesting, and that character I hate no matter how well it's written. I'm always more interested by sons like the son in Breaking Bad, who I know you guys don't. I think you guys don't watch
Cerebral
it. No.
palsy.
Yeah, well, yeah, he has cerebral palsy. The character has cerebral palsy, but that's not what's important. What's important is he's a son who actually really likes his dad and looks up to his dad, and as his dad screws up, he sort of has to deal with that in emotional ways. Whereas a son that's just like, I'm a teenager and I'm so angsty and I hate my dad because he's a dad. Like it's not a very good character. The good thing is I think he's supposed to have learned something in the pilot, so hopefully after this he'll just be a dude, who's not like, I'm mopey because I gave up my girlfriend in the future world. I should explain what the story is, because they don't tell you this. It starts off really cool. Like, everything looks like Blade Runner, and they live in this planet where, they live on Earth, but the air is really bad, and so everybody's got gas masks on, and there's population control, so, the show starts, actually, pretty interestingly, with this family, and everything seems normal, and then the cops break in, and they're rummaging through the house, and they open a cabinet, and there's a baby in the cabinet, and they grab the baby and run it. Well, they don't. That makes it sound silly.
I've heard of this planet. It's called China. What?
So they take this this little white baby, and they carry it out of the apartment, and then somehow you skip forward, and somehow they got that little girl back. But long story short, the people on this planet, using the Large Hadron Collider, have created a black hole through time that goes back to dinosaur times, and they also have figured out that it's a slightly different, it's a time skew, it's a different dimension, so the things they do in the past in this other world don't actually affect their future. Basically, it's a way for the writers to say, we don't have to worry about, them Back to the Futuring themselves.
You have to worry about paradoxes.
Right, exactly, that's over. Though that doesn't really work because they're obviously on a different planet because all the dinosaurs are different. There's one that has it's like a velociraptor with a weird flippy tail that it flips at people. And the other thing that's shitty about it is that all the CG is really, really garbage. Just, you want to scratch your eyes out. It looks so bad. And I'm hoping the stuff at the beginning of these giant future cities looks great, and I was really excited because I had seen early shots and I thought those dinosaurs look like trash, and I thought maybe they went back in and fixed it. They didn't, and I'm hoping that what that means is that they didn't spend too much money on this pilot. They didn't pull Lost where they spent a huge chunk of money and then had to chop everything up after that. Hopefully it means that in the future there will be one dinosaur in an episode and they can make it look good, and or some episodes won't have dinosaurs and eventually they'll kill all the dinosaurs and it'll just be people in the past, because that would be a cool show. But it's the best thing that I've watched these past 2 weeks as far as new shows.
Where a planet Earth is all wasted and they wear gas masks? You know what movie that's in? Jason X. I'm not even joking. They get out and it's dirty and they all have to wear masks because it's too dangerous to inhabit.
Also China.
Yeah.
This is also true. China. Yeah. I've got pictures from when my cousins bought that little baby from China, and they really said they would drive around in towns there and be like, how does anyone live here? The fog is the smog is just horrible. So fuck China. No. Anyway, what you been watching?
They own all of our debt. Don't say that.
Well, yeah, but
I mean, we're in Canada.
Oh. What you been watching, Ryan?
Well, what I've been watching is actually I watched episode 4 of Star Wars.
Wait. We didn't get to talk about episode 3 last week.
I didn't?
No.
Yeah,
this week you watched.
I watched
since
3
last
and
episode
4.
you watched 2 because.
Yeah, I've watched episode 3 and 4. And I still stand by my conviction that episode 3 is the best of the prequels.
Yeah, I read your
and my wife
your article,
just
and it
gave me a raspberry. So
your article made me want to punch you in your George Lucas turkey neck so hard.
I have a George Lucas turkey neck. That hurts my feelings.
But the people who are listening who don't know you think you do now.
No.
And that's how I got my revenge for how much I hate that. It's the worst. That movie is the worst.
False.
Ugh. How did you give that an A-?
Anyways, so episode 4 is amazing.
Yeah! The truth is, Ryan, you probably should have started at 4 and then gone the traditional
No,
route?
I-
because that way, when you got to the prequels, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, these are trash.
No,
this isn't what good movies are
They
like."
never would change my mind about them. I mean, I've seen the movie so many
He wants
times.
to experience him the way that you're going to be able to re-experience him in the theaters coming soon.
No,
Yeah.
that's what breaks my heart. Is that he wants to experience them the way that like an 8-year-old now experiences them. I just killed the room.
Through a
No, you
haze
ju- you
of
just-
marijuana.
You just put in my head the vision of me going to a Star Trek convention or a sci-fi convention maybe 10 years from now, and seeing the kids who grew up with the prequels, fighting over toys. And
See, I don't think
Paying
I don't think the
outrageous
prequels will
prices for
resonate
stuff.
like that.
you don't think so?
No, because
I certainly don't think that kids now will grow up and feel the way about Star Wars that we feel about Star Wars.
From what I've been listening
Because-
to, like people who grew up with the original trilogy, like got hooked on not just the movies but also the marketing and the toys. And I feel
Yeah.
like the prequels were even more heavily marketed and had more toys. So I just imagine
I don't know.
But I don't
an exponentially exploded version of that.
like people. My generation and your generation, all sort of grew up with Star Wars being the kind of stuff that our dreams were made of. Like, that was a very special movie that wasn't like anything else that you could see, even, up until, like, even when something like Independence Day would come out, I'd still be like, this is not as good as Star Wars, because there's a real hearty story there.
Nobody's
And I-
wearing a vest. What's up with that?
And yet, I don't think that any kid today is going to grow up and feel like Star Wars is special in that way. They're going to see Star Wars and they're going to see Star Trek and things like that and think that they're all just like, oh, these are movies.
Well, also pop culture changes though, because kids, like my niece is 9, she feels that way about Harry Potter. She's experiencing the books,
I
she's
guess
experiencing the
that's true.
movies, so to her that's the magical thing. But
And that's fucked up too. I'm sorry, never mind.
you guys are going to kill me when I release the list of the Star Wars movies I like in order. But no, but I was watching episode 4 and I've seen it 80 times. I don't even know how many times I've seen that movie. But I still forgot like moments in it. When Luke is going down the shaft. What's shaft? I don't know.
Go down the shaft.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Is that right?
he's going down the
Luke
shaft.
is going down Han's shaft. Wait.
No, he's going down the. I don't know, the trench. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Star Trench.
The
Yeah.
Star Trench, and Vader
Weird,
gets behind him,
crazy
and
question.
he says, "The Force is strong with this one." And says, "It is strong with Luke." And then I'm like, "Oh my gosh, Luke is cornered!" And then Han shows up and gets him, and
Yeah, it's
I
a great
totally
movie.
forgot about that. And I've seen that movie, I don't even know how many times. And I didn't notice the big thing with the Dragon Call. I guess that they changed with Obi-Wan Kenobi scaring away the Sand People.
Yeah, that's not a big one.
And then I
mean,
didn't really
most of
notice the rocks in front of RTD2 because it looked seamless.
My question is:
Are you only thinking about the fact he just said RTD2?
He mispronounces things all the time. I just drown it out. My question is: how did
Sorry, R2D2. Fuck you guys.
you just say R2?
All right.
Okay, R2.
Whatever.
Whatever.
I heard about that today. I was wondering how, did R2 spend maybe half an hour moving the rocks and then getting behind them and then putting them back into place?
That's the thing. All of the changes in A New Hope are just sort of silly. Like they're not offensive in the way that Greedo shooting first is offensive. They're just like, why would you do that? Like, why does that need to be changed? Why does Obi-Wan need to scream more? That didn't not make sense before. You're not fixing anything. You're just changing things to change things.
Yeah. So like that stuff, I mean, you wouldn't even notice.
Yeah.
But the movie's still good. It's a
How's it
special
look?
edition. It looks pretty good. Like the special edition. The biggest jarring part is when Han walks over Jabba's tail.
Yeah.
That part still looks goofy. I don't know how you could ever make that work right.
Yeah, that scene and obviously the Han Shot's first
Yeah.
scene are the two things in that movie that need to not be there.
Yeah, I mean the scene's okay, but I mean it's unnecessary, and it just looks goofy when they have him walk over.
That's
Because there are other
CGI
things that...
from, what,
97?
1997? So,
Yeah.
I mean, spend some time on that for sure.
Yeah.
And there are other CG things in there that I still don't think should be there, like ethically, but they don't bother me from the special editions. Like there's a CG shot of the X-wing coming towards you as it locks in the attack foils.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really hurt the movies. The only thing that it's weird because the old special effects and then you get all of a sudden these like candy coated like shots of the X-wing flying and stuff, and it doesn't really fit with the rest of the movie.
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day because now we're at a point where the CG scenes are dated. You know, like he was putting in stuff as if to say, "Oh, well, you know, we've got these dated special effects that we're ashamed of. I'm gonna put in these new shiny special effects." And now time has passed again, and those are now dated. And you know, he's gonna have to just keep putting in new special effects every 20 years. Oh, not even to make those movies good.
Yeah.
I guess I don't get it.
So yeah, that's why I watched. I watched Up All Night, Christina Applegate.
What is that?
It's Christina Applegate and Will Arnett. They become parents, and
Is that new show?
yeah,
Oh.
it's actually not that bad. Like there's really funny parts where they're changing the baby's diaper and they're cussing a whole bunch, and they say they really have to watch their mouth, but then it gets really heavy-handed and like syrupy at the end. So
I keep reusing this half-good joke that every year there's a new show with Will Arnett that comes out,
There
and
is.
every year in the commercials he's a little bit more depressed. You know, like he is not having fun.
yeah,
He really isn't.
yeah, he needs to be Job again, and he would be. And then I caught the tail end of
It's
an
coming.
episode of Whitney. I was just waiting
Oh.
with my friend Joe, and it's terrible.
Ugh.
They try to set up these jokes, and the jokes are terrible, and the people in it are terrible, and it's the worst thing that's happened to women since suffrage. I don't know.
Since Power
Suffrage was a good thing. And
Girl.
I
That's
produced
a-
Whitney.
That was again the
that was,
only man in our audience.
That was a joke from Friends. But no one got
No,
it because
yeah.
no one watches Friends but me.
No, I wasn't born yet. Wow. Oh, wow. All right. Brad, what have you been watching?
I saw a movie
Friends?
called... No. I watched a movie called Bellflower, and that was weird.
All right.
And interesting and annoying at times, and yeah, kind of all over the map.
So I'll avoid it.
Yeah, I guess. It's got a cool aesthetic to it. Like, there's always like dust on the camera and like really blurred edges.
So shitty. It's filmed shittily.
Yeah, but then other times it's pristine and it's really kind of...
One of those movies that's look, we're independent.
Yeah, you wouldn't like
Yeah.
it for sure. I know that.
Because that's stupid.
James might appreciate it, but
No,
anyway.
that's
Well,
stupid.
I hate when...
Well, what's the point?
If it gets in the way.
Yeah, it's stupid. That's like the forced perspective of 3D, where they put bars in front of the camera, so you have a 3D depth to it.
I think it had something to do with the narrative, but I didn't quite figure it out because I was too busy trying to follow along. 'cause
So if you didn't
it's so
figure it out,
disjointed.
then it was worthless. Then they shouldn't have
Just
done
because
it.
I didn't figure it out doesn't mean
No,
that
I'm just saying it's
other
worthless
people...
then.
It sounds like the kind of movie I would try to fall asleep in.
I almost did at some points.
I've
Then,
never actually done that.
I started watching 24 season 8 again.
Nice.
So you've seen it before?
Yeah.
Is it good?
So I hadn't seen it since it aired on TV. So,
It's awesome.
but I only got into the first episode so far. So
So good episode.
it's a little slow moving that first one, but you got to watch basically with 24 the first 4 hours.
Yeah.
Once you get to the fourth hour, it's
Can I then skip
Things
to
take
like
off.
the last 6 episodes or something? Because I would love to
Sometimes.
watch
never
the...
skip an episode 24.
I mean,
I thought you were just telling me to only watch the first 4.
No, I'm just saying if you're watching the first episode of 24 of that
Oh,
season, and
you
you're
got to
like,
get through the
I'm not
first
sure
4
about
to
this.
really get into
Yeah.
it. Oh, okay.
with a lot
I
of
like Deadwood,
24,
too.
yeah. Like 24 always has that slow build up.
Yeah.
You know, and then you find out certain things. I still think season 8 has one of the biggest shock twists in it.
Yeah.
That's weird because I always used to hear the sort of the opposite thing, that it would start off, the good seasons of 24 would start off really exciting, and then like because they were trying to stretch things out, it would get kind of boring in the middle, and then it would end really good.
Yeah.
So,
It happens.
okay,
That's it for me.
that's all you watched?
You
didn't
I
watch
watched
any
the
Star Trek?
Office. Huh?
You didn't watch any Star Trek?
No, I'm waiting for the Blu-rays.
You should watch some Star Trek.
And then I watched the new episodes of The Office, and they were all right.
Oh, funny.
Andy got a tattoo, and
I still haven't watched any of the new ones.
yeah.
I feel like I should because you guys keep saying that they're...
They're still funny. Like the actors are funny in it, so they have
I've always
their
liked the
moments.
ensemble cast. You know, I
so
mean,
have I, but
it's a little weird not having Steve Carell there, but at the same time, I'm not ready to kill the show.
yeah.
You know,
I don't think my heart's in it.
Maybe when it gets going on, they don't have the zany, cold openings like where Michael Scott is, rapping or
yeah.
whatever he's gonna do that week.
I want to see more pranks out of Jim though,
See,
because he hasn't done one yet.
I kind of want them to cancel that show so that those guys that I really love will go do other things.
Well, I don't think I think this might be the last season.
We'll see how it pans out.
Yeah.
I'm just glad they got rid of Christian Slater. I hated every commercial where they were like, "I can't believe we got Christian Slater on our show," and I'm thinking, why? What was he doing? Like, he was living in a shack somewhere. He was like Baby Doe Tabor, freezing to death
On The Office?
in a shack. No, the actor.
Right, what was he doing?
Well, no, they were just amazed that he in the commercials for that show.
They
were
Saber
amazed.
promo video.
Yeah, they were.
Oh.
No, they were always amazed that
That was one episode.
No. In the commercials for The Office, they're interviewing the cast of The Office, and they're talking about, I can't believe we got this actor on our show. And I'm thinking, why? Where? What? Like, what was he doing? It doesn't. You're really surprised that you got this guy that's not doing anything on your show? Seriously?
It's a tie-in for My Own Worst Enemy, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
I have an audience suggestion, and that is that you link a Wikipedia article describing who Baby Doe Tabor is. Because that's a regional turn.
No, I'm not going to do that. If you want to know why that joke is funny only to me in this room, you need to look up who Baby Doe Tabor is. Do you guys know who Baby Doe Tabor is?
Nope.
She died, she froze to death in a shack. Proving...
Tabor Center.
Yeah. Her husband was this guy, made all this money, and everybody thought she was like some kind of gold-digging harlot, and then after he died, she died freezing in a shack.
Silver
Because-
digging.
Is this a movie?
No, this happened
Then why are
in
we
the...
talking about it, Ryan? What's next?
It should be. It should be a movie. I know. I didn't say that because I might write it. Go ahead, Ryan.
Cool.
what's next?
So next we'll be reviewing the movie we saw this week, which is 50-50.
Oh, man, I really go for chicken wings, though.
Oh, yeah? You want? Okay, well, our sponsor this week is Buffalo Wild Wings. So.
I don't like chicken wings.
You didn't have that
It's
in
too
the
much
beginning,
work.
so
Oh,
I was helping you out there.
all right. Cool. Are you going to splice in a commercial here?
No.
Okay.
Is Buffalo Wild Wings?
I thought you were just going to do usual, like, hey, everybody, try Birdman barbecue sauce.
Yeah, this week's podcast, as always, is brought to you by Birdman Barbecue Sauce. Pick it up at your local
You're
Colorado
welcome, Joe.
Ace hardware store. He's going to give us some free stuff. I talked to him yesterday.
Sweet.
Now I'm really
Show's
lazy. Is
paying
this
off.
barbecue sauce so good that it'll make me eat meat that's still on a bone?
Maybe.
Okay.
It's
I'll give it a
delicious.
shot.
It's
Hey,
delicious.
Of course, I said that last week, and I still haven't gotten to an Ace Hardware.
We'll get it. Joe said he'd pimp us out some, so.
Oh yeah.
Or he'd have a barbecue with us there.
I'm gonna get pimped. Wait, what?
He'd make the barbecue.
Yeah,
and
no,
use the
I
sauce.
understand. I was. All right, let's move on.
Hey, Brad, should people see 50-50?
I liked it. I think they should see it.
James?
Oh hell yeah.
The humor may not be for everyone, though. It's kind of a sensitive subject.
It is.
It's a little bit of toilet humor, but the kind that I would almost have my parents go see because the rest of the movie makes up for it.
Exactly.
I think people should see it, and they should listen to the trailer right now.
You have cancer?
They found it yesterday.
They found it yesterday? Who found it?
My cleaning lady found it in the back of my jeans. Who do you think found it?
You're young. Young people beat cancer all the time. Every celebrity beats cancer. Robert Dexter, Lance Armstrong, he keeps getting it.
Oh, so you're my shrink. How old are you?
24?
So what, are you like Doogie Howser?
Who?
Teenage doctor?
Does he work here?
I'm moving in.
No, Mom, no.
I'm your
Sorry,
mother,
no.
Adam.
Wait, exactly.
Don't do it!
I thought you said you liked to do
You're
it.
gonna look weird.
Come on, let's just do it. What do you use this for?
They're body trimmers, so. What is that?
Hello?
Hey, it's Adam.
What's going on?
Just probably having a nervous breakdown.
What are your chances?
It said 50-50.
It's not that bad. You were a casino game, you'd have the best odds.
You really think that a girl's gonna go for me just because I have cancer?
For the millionth time, yes!
I have cancer.
I was wrong.
Nice to meet you.
was weird. It's
Yeah,
weird like that.
no, that's
it's not.
too
It
soon.
doesn't sound cool.
50-50.
Nice head. Can I touch it?
You can do more than touch it.
So 50-50 stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Levitt.
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 He-
There is
he's-
no S.
I like that he's become a kind of a cool actor because I remember him on Third Rock from the Sun as the...
He was. Well, I mean that's an amazing cast on that show.
Oh, no, I think
And
the show's
he
actually pretty funny.
He held up really well as like a 12-year-old kid on that show.
I still think the
He
show's
was
actually
really-
pretty funny.
Oh yeah,
Because I think Lithgow is always really funny.
Exactly, yeah.
Because, I mean...
and that guy who played Rocket Man. No, that wasn't. the guy who
and,
played
you know, the
Rocket
one
Man.
person I think is actually the weakest link in that is French Stewart. That's my French
No, I
Stewart.
think
It's
he's better than the girl. What's her name? I don't know, Samantha.
Yeah, remember
making
how
up
people
that
thought she was hot, but she's not hot at all?
Funny.
Hey,
Yeah, they're not.
What kind of horrible prick would say something like that? Shut up, dude.
So in the movie, his
I
character
mean, Whitney
Adam,
Cummings is fun.
Oh my gosh, James.
Shit. All right, so
Continue.
50-50.
Discuss 50-50.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt's supposed to guy named Adam who gets cancer.
He does get cancer of the back. And his friend Kyle, played by Seth Rogen, which is what I liked is they kind of kept Seth Rogen out of the movie until specific parts when he was really needed to be there for Adam. And
he's really perfectly balanced in that movie.
He is.
Shows up. I mean, you kind of expect Seth Rogen to be funny, and the problem we had a horrible audience. As soon as Seth Rogen came on screen, people laughed. He wasn't doing anything.
No.
But this is maybe the most dramatic I've ever seen him in.
Yeah.
You know, maybe this and Funny People, which are, you know, bizarrely similar movies.
Yeah. But it was written by their friend Will Reiser, who actually it's the basis of his life, where he did get cancer. And,
Really, I didn't know that.
And he wrote the movie because Seth Rogen was his friend, and I read an interview with him, and they said, "So is the character Adam going to die in the movie? Because obviously you're still alive and you beat cancer." And obviously you wouldn't spoil it in the interview, but I always thought it was interesting. And you know that's one of the cool things about that movie. You're always playing with, well, he could live, he might not make it, and
it's directed by the guy named Jonathan Levine, who directed The Whackness, which was a sort of big indie movie from a couple years ago with
Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley in it, and he's also got this movie called All the Boys Love Mandy Lane with Amber Heard in it, which is this weird movie that hasn't been released. It's been in a can for years, and every now and then people online will talk about it. But he's not a big name, and I think now he should be because he does a really good job.
that was a cool movie. You know, it was funny, but then it's sometimes when you do those comedy / dramas, sometimes they get too serious or they're too goofy, and I thought it had a really nice balance to it.
Yeah, well, and because it's really honest and well written in both of those. So there were times when, like, I would be, you know, very emotionally tied to what was happening, and I never cried, I will say that, but there were times when I was getting close, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, you did.
Yep, I did.
There were times when I was getting close, and then they would do something that was funny, and my first instinct was to be mad at them, like, no, why, this was perfect, why did you break it? And then I realized, but that was really funny, and then I would like let myself laugh for a second. It was a very cathartic laugh every time that it happened. I've never felt that before, where, you know, it was well written on both sides, and so when it would flip back and forth, you couldn't hold it against it because it just felt very natural.
Well, yeah, I've always said that I think people are more naturally funny than always being serious. And that was always my problem with drama sometimes, is everybody's so serious in them. But I think you always have to break the tension, because I think people's first instinct is to try to be funny. Brad, you just sitting there looking.
Did you not like
you
it?
guys talk?
No, it's all right. I'm nervous. I'm getting nervous.
Take turns. No, I liked it. I thought it was really well written. Obviously well acted because of that, and I liked how they masked all the technical parts of cancer treatment with certain transitions and camera moves and stuff. You know, like when he's getting explained for the first time, like what he's going through. You know, they kind of have this like ear tune out thing.
Well, and it's not even,
you kind of get it.
Wait, that to me is more about the fact that, because up until then, like, we already know. Obviously, we know because we know the story of the movie, but we also know because you pick up little words about, you know, things that when you hear those words, you know we're talking about cancer, but the doctor never says cancer, and then that ringing thing happens the moment that he says cancer, and then suddenly, you know, Adam sort of, everything just goes away for a second, and
right.
he's not listening to what that doctor is saying. It's not even about, like, we don't want to explain to the audience what the technical stuff is. It's more like it gets very real in that moment, because up until then everything is just fun, and then cancer.
Yeah, and Dallas Bryce Howard's in it, and she's really grown, you know, from The Village to Spider-Man to this, and I haven't seen The Help yet, much to the chagrin of my wife. But
yeah, we should have seen that instead of Creature. Yeah, she's great, and another really amazing character, because that's one that though our audience was very quick to choose sides as far as those characters were concerned, I think she is written in such a way that while what she does is deplorable, you almost understand it, because you realize, like, yes, obviously things are shittier for him and he has cancer, but at the same time you can relate with the choice that she makes.
How to deal with it, and she doesn't know how to explain that or.
And the situation, when he tells her, he says, like, I'll let you off the hook, like, you can leave, you don't have to stay here. But that would be shitty too, like, you realize she was never really given a good option, and then she ends up looking like a bitch because she kind of is one. But it's a character that you can't entirely hate, and it makes her a much better, interesting character than if she were just like, oh, that was his bitch girlfriend,
Yeah.
And so because they take such a realistic look at that relationship, then when you get the relationship at the end where two of my favorite people in Hollywood fall in love, that feels more emotional and more real and more honest.
Yeah, I love too when she was at the art gallery making out with the Jesus hippie guy, and she came home and she played that part. She's like, "Oh, there he is," and then all of a sudden Seth Rogen bursts in because he took the picture. He's like, "What's up?"
Yeah,
it just really broke the tension in that scene. As
well. Give her a second to say anything. Like, every time she speaks, he just opens up and like shuts her down.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah. Ryan, I just want you to know, if you ever get cancer, I would totally have sex with Jesus.
Thank you.
All right.
That would be
divine.
Shitty.
No.
Audience, what did you think of 50-50?
Yeah.
I thought it.
Laura loved the Greyhound so much so that she yelled it in the theater.
and yet, no one else in the theater could hear her yelling it because they were all having their own conversations.
Yeah. But anyways, the movie. Sorry.
I really liked it. I thought they handled cancer, because anyone who's ever had like someone in their family with cancer, they handled it in a realistic way where it's hard, you don't want to talk about it, you kind of make it funny a little bit. Like, I thought they really did the whole family experience justice.
It reminds me a lot of the realistic way that High Fidelity looks at sort of the situations of romantic comedies. This does that same kind of formula on a movie about life and death, where you get all of these funny situations and these characters that you love, and you relate to them because they are funny in the way that you relate to characters in a comedy. But then there are scenes, I still think it's maybe the most powerful scene in the movie, where he's sitting with his therapist, Anna Kendrick, and she's doing her best to try and help him, and he has this great little bit of dialogue where he's saying, like, no one will actually say that I'm dying. Like, no one will talk to me and say, like, we're doing this because you're dying. It's an amazing scene that is, it's just honest. Like, it's what you want. You want the world to be that world where people can just talk to that guy that way, and I don't know. It's amazing.
I like the scene too in The Therapist where she said they're talking about his mother.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
And he said, so because his father has Alzheimer's, and his therapist says, so you have your mom whose husband can't talk to him and her son that won't. And that kind of changed the whole dynamic of the movie too, because that's where it kind of changed.
There's another interesting element, because it's like this kind of subplot, but like the mother is introduced as this overbearing character, and you don't really acknowledge it until Anna Kendrick brings it up in that scene, like when he's kind of offhandedly talking about it. And I was like watching it, I was like, man, I didn't even think of that. Like, she's got this, because the husband, like, they don't focus on his Alzheimer's. It's just kind of like this thing that's accompanying the story, and then once they draw attention to it, you're like, oh my god.
And it's funny, she's played wonderfully by Angelica Houston, and now that you say that, it makes me realize that I was sort of put off by the guy who plays his dad, because I thought, especially in the same year as John Lithgow played a guy with Alzheimer's and did it so well that it almost saved that movie for me, that I was like, why? He just sort of stands in the background and smiles. And now that you say that, I think that maybe that was an intentional thing where, he wasn't that sort of deadpan, doesn't always know what's going on. He's just sort of in the background and like, oh, we're just sort of okay with that guy, so that then when we get to that beat, that other shoe can drop and we go, oh man, I hadn't even thought of that. Yeah.
My favorite scene, I guess it's not really along the same lines, is when they're on their last night and he goes into Kyle's apartment and he finds the book in the bathroom. Like, he thought that his friend was just, like, being selfish and really didn't understand, but he had read a book about cancer, and that touched me. I thought that was very nice.
Yeah, he's got it all marked up. Yeah, that's a good one. I would have... That one may have been the one to really kick me and get me to start crying. But that fucking bitch wouldn't shut up behind me, and so I was distracted.
Well, the chick behind us would tell us when it was sad, and then when there was a joke, she would repeat it in case we missed it.
Hey, did you know that Anna Kendrick's teeth are really pretty?
She said they were
I
big.
learned that from them too.
I did know, actually.
Well, she said they were big. They looked like rabbit teeth, and they kept on talking while they're having that. It was that scene where he's talking about his mom.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was hoping that they were fat chicks, but they weren't.
Did they have good teeth?
Because I was kind of drunk.
Maybe they didn't have good teeth, and they're just really like.
They should be jealous because I don't think she's like hot, but she's cute.
Who?
Anna Kendrick.
Yeah. Oh, what?
And she's really awesome. Too bad she's in Twilight.
Actually, I'm gonna have to look up and see if she did anything significant before that. I think that maybe the best thing about Twilight is that it found Anna Kendrick.
You know, she's great and Up in the Air.
You know who else is in Twilight? Bryce Dallas Howard. Half
really?
of the cast of this movie is in Twilight. Yeah.
Well, I guess I was reading an article
She's the
with
villain in 3, I think. I
written
don't know.
by
They all run together. For
Neil
me.
Patrick Harris, and he says, "Always take a job," because you know what?
That's how Smurfs got made.
Yeah.
Ah.
It's funny. He mentioned that in there. He said because if you don't take the job, then maybe someone else will play NPH in the Harold and Kumar movies, and then you won't be in How I Met Your Mother, and you won't. And if you don't make fun of yourself, somebody else will.
Well, and the truth is, he's probably saying that as the guy who didn't work for 10 years after he had a hit show. But
he did. He listed his TV movies he worked in. It's a great article. He wrote,
okay.
Neil Patrick Harris right now because they even made a Doogie Howser joke in the movie.
They did make a Doogie
Howser. And that is such a good joke because it's the kind of joke that the other people in the theater didn't laugh at because they didn't understand it. Because they're talking about how Anna Kendrick is young and he's making a joke about you're like Doogie Howser, and then you realize like she's not laughing because she doesn't know who Doogie Howser is because she's young.
Or I love that really uncomfortable Patrick Swayze joke.
Yeah. Oh yes. Oh man.
Where Seth Rogen character didn't know that he was dead.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like none of the really awesome jokes in the movie feel like jokes. You know, they're just people talking, and those people talk in funny ways. They're never like, "Hey, this is that time that we," There's nothing super disgusting. Like it doesn't feel the way that like a Hangover movie feels, where you feel like they're throwing jokes at you. This is just you're watching characters, and so that's part of why when it goes from drama to comedy, it's not even like the movie is switching gears. It's just like, well, these are just people.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sorry about the anticlimactic way to follow you up there, but yeah,
it's great. I mean, it's really great. Now, I may have made some big predictions.
You did.
I don't know. I
was going to ask you. James said that it was going to be his favorite movie of the year.
Oh, I did not know that.
It's up there.
It's good.
And the hard thing is that every day since the second time I saw Moneyball, that movie just gets a little bit better in my mind. And this might do the same thing, especially if I see it again. This might be a movie that just gets a little.
It's interesting because this is like the slowest time of the year right
and
now
movies
for
have
movies,
been good.
and they've been pretty good.
Yeah,
like the last 3 movies, Drive,
like the second slowest
Moneyball, and this movie have been really good.
Yeah.
I do want to say one thing about the trailers at the beginning. Why did they cast Sam Worthington to be an American person? We can't even keep his Australian accent out of the trailer.
Are you sure he's American in that movie? I mean, he only has to stand on a ledge.
Yeah, he is a man on a ledge. He talks at the beginning with American accent.
Yeah.
And then he says, "Oh, I'm innocent." Like, wait,
yeah.
What? I mean, the worst is still Terminator Salvation, where he's talking to Christian Bale completely with his Australian accent, and then the next scene he doesn't have it anymore.
There's a podcast I listen to called Making It with Ricky Lindholm, which is... Ricky Lindholm is like a little character actor. Actually, I think I talked about this a couple weeks ago. Anyway, she's sort of a character actor. She's half of the comedy group. A couple of really funny women in a group called Garfunkel and Oates. And that's one of them.
James pointed at 2 women when he said that.
No, I didn't. I pointed at that guy in the third row who kept talking about how women aren't funny. What a dick. Who would say that? Anyway,
Bitches ain't shit, but hoes and tricks.
she had somebody, I think it was Sarah Paxton. What she does on her podcast is she interviews like other up and coming stars or other little character actors that she knows. Basically, she talks to her friends on a podcast, which sounds familiar. And she was talking about how there is this weird thing going on in Hollywood where Australians will get cast mostly because they're Australian. Like, she had a friend who was casting a movie, and she told her friend, like, oh, I've got this guy who's really great, you should cast him. And that guy came in and did a really good job. And then this other guy who was Australian came in and was like, hi, I'm Australian, and he got the job and then wasn't as good. And I don't actually understand it entirely, but it is some kind of thing that is happening where Hollywood sees that somebody is Australian and thinks they must be the next Sam Worthington or the next that guy from Spartacus,
Mel Gibson,
or the next Mel Gibson.
But you know what I mean, though. And then what the fuck is that movie about?
Well,
a dude on a ledge trying to rob a rich guy.
Yeah, they're trying to rob the bank across the street.
He's
where
trying
the
to
guy
create
keeps
a distraction so that
I mean, I get that.
I don't know why you would create a distraction across the street from the place that you're robbing. I feel like that's like you're calling the cops to across the street, not across town.
And you guys like the trailer for the Bounty Hunter 2 from the girl's perspective this time, and from Jersey. That's my terrible Jersey accent.
Okay, if that movie didn't have what's her fucking face in it, I would probably be Katherine Heigl. I would probably be interested in it.
I'm interested because she's in it.
I hate Katherine Heigl.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Katherine Heigl, but you know, whoever this Janet Ivanovich person is, she writes a lot of books, and I have to assume that some of them are half decent. So,
but it's exactly the same plot, except the chick is the no.
No,
Jennifer Aniston is the bounty hunter in the.
No, she's not.
No, I've never seen it. I have seen it, but I don't remember it. My cousin and I rented it. It's the gayest day I've ever had in my life. My cousin came home and said, "Hey, you want to watch a bounty hunter?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." The dude from 300. I love Jennifer Aniston.
Is that gay moment that your wife was talking about? That you're supposed to have.
Oh, you know what? I am just a statistic in her book now.
You are.
Did you have sex with a man while you're doing that? Because otherwise it doesn't count.
Oh.
It was pretty gay. It was closely. It was like 37% gay.
Kinsey disagrees.
That's what Kinsey said.
They just pronounced Kinsey. Our audience is the worst. We have the worst audience in the world. I hope they don't come back.
Anyways, you should see 50-50.
You should.
And next week we are seeing
Real Steel.
Real Steel.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Actually, I've been reading. It's been getting good reviews.
Oh, I don't care. It's got robots that fight, and you know how I love robots that fight.
You know what would be awesome is at the end, let's say that robot can't make it, and Hugh Jackman jumps up and he has his claws come out.
Oh yeah, he picks up the big robot muscles and he's like, "Rah!" He punches the robot,
and it says Wolverine returns next summer. Dude, that'd be the best ending to that movie ever.
Or he starts singing.
Wolverine does return next summer, doesn't it?
Is it next summer it comes out, the Wolverine?
No, it doesn't.
No, I don't know.
I made that.
I did just pick up this cool magazine called Total Film, and it's the 52 comic book movies in development. I haven't read it yet, but the Wolverine's in it.
Total Film makes half-assed, almost good things. Just saying.
I don't know what it is.
Oh.
I just had Spider-Man on the cover, so I bought it.
Yeah, I bought like all the best movies of ever by Total Film once, and it was, I don't know, I had Mace Windu on the front. Who? That one really obnoxious girl in the movie tonight? Not in the movie. In the audience tonight. Before the movie, she and her friends were telling horrible jokes and giggling like little school children. And at one point, she was talking about how Samuel L. Jackson was in a movie. Samuel Jackson.
Samuel Jackson.
No. Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel Jackson.
No. Samuel L. Jackson.
He's in a lot of movies.
Oh, speaking of trailers, I just remembered the Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy looks awesome.
It does.
I think I'm going to read the book first. It looks so awesome.
I read a review. It said it's really boring.
Oh.
But the movie still
every
looks good.
review I see,
it's got
every
Benedict
review I
Cumberbatch
see
in it.
is it's got Benedict Cumberbatch in it, who has the best name ever.
Well, it has a lot of good actors in it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Lots.
Oh yeah. Everything I've heard is that it's actually really good.
I don't know. I like movies like that. I mean, Moneyball, they just talked and it was awesome.
Yeah, they did. Mad Men, they just talk and it's awesome.
I mean, you just gotta sit there and stare at Brad Pitt's steely blue eyes. Or does he have green eyes? I don't even know.
Or Christina Hendricks' large breasts.
Yeah, Christina Hendricks does have big boobs. Like they had a picture of her in my New Entertainment Weekly. She was at the Emmys, and it's like she's like falling out.
I hate seeing pictures of her at awards because it. Well,
And thanks to
I
Drive,
mean,
she's missing
they're
half
big,
her head.
but
Yeah, she is missing half her head in Drive.
oh yeah,
Shocking.
spoilers for Drive. I hope you didn't listen to this one and not Drive.
So next week, Real Steel with Hugh the Wolverine Jackman and Lily.
Evangeline Lilly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kate from Lost.
I hope
Where
she's not
can we
bad.
send mail and questions and
Please
comments?
like us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast.
Has anybody checked the mail?
Yeah, I have.
Did we get
I
anything?
always check it. No.
Oh, fuck.
Email us at realnerds@gmail.com. And you can visit our other website, spherxsdomain.com, namelessvisions.com. And
there's some new articles there.
yeah, there is. Brad just wrote one on Spherx's Domain about fur burgers, so make sure you check out Brad's toilet humor.
Adam helped.
Because, usually this guy is pretty straightforward, but every once in a while you'll read some stuff on his website that you're a little shocked.
A little off-putting.
A little off-putting,
yeah.
but it's funny. Did I
Is
forget
that
anything?
it? Covered
Oh,
everything?
no. Tumblr.realnerds.com
Yeah.
to read our blog and see why I got 20 more people that liked my article about Star Wars Episode 2 that I really didn't even review it.
That's some bullshit. I wrote a really long article nobody read about Avatar, and nobody even read it.
I
No
know.
one cares about Avatar.
You are so big. I could stick my finger in your nose and not get it wet. Ha!